Real Broker right for you. Everyone thinks that Real Brokers and EXP, the new cloud-based models, are the new wave, and everyone is going there. And for the most part, it might be true. In fact, I brought over 120 people to this amazing brokerage, but I've also told a lot of individuals that this is not the place where they belong. And in this one, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know. Number one, is Real even a right fit for your business model? Number two, what are some hidden fees and costs associated with Real that most people don't know about? And number three, could changing to Real cost you your income and your livelihood? Let's talk about it. The biggest things that I love about Real is the technology and how amazing it is with the AI integrations and ultimately our utilization of that. But what I've talked with, especially with older agents, is they get really frustrated, especially in the first 30 to 60 days. In fact, over 70% of people that come here have a learning curve when you're using things like Reason in our app spaces as well. It does take a while to understand all the utilities, figure out how to talk to the broker team, figure out what the VAs are doing, where transactions, the whole shebang. What's awesome is that Real does have training that circulates around all these topics to ultimately make sure the facilitation of them become easier. But at the same time, it kind of does suck when you're trying to put in a closing document and unfortunately you just don't know where it goes. If you are tech savvy, then obviously ignore this completely, right? But one of the big things, especially with the older agents that are coming to our amazing brokerage, is there's a little bit of frustration with the technology aspect of it. But one of the big things that I have noticed that's a shift in comparison to other models is the fact that you get to really reach out to anyone that's active and they will help you obviously put the documentations in. There's also so many training videos around this that you don't necessarily have to worry too much about it. But there's always going to be a learning curve, especially with the Real Academy, with Reason, with Signature, and the whole knot. Real is at an 85-15 split with no monthly fees, but there is an annual fee of $750 that comes out of your first 3 transactions of $250, $250, and $250. We also have a $12,000 annual cap, which will then become a 100% split once you pay the company $12,000. There's a $249 sign-up fee, $40 CBR fee with it as well. You get 3 personal transactions with an additional $250 transaction fee on all of those. One of the biggest things about Real that I love is the fact that it's transparent on the website and you can see all these numbers. But when people are thinking about obviously making a move and then all you see is 85, but then there's more money that's taken out, you want to make sure that you have all those things taken into account before you actually make that jump. My name is Gagan Samsina. I brought over 120 people at this amazing brokerage. If any of the things that I say don't scare you, I'm going to put all of my information in the description below. Schedule a call and let's see if Real will even be a right fit for you. Third thing is the limited brand recognition, and this is kind of counterintuitive as a whole. You see a lot of the clients that we're working with, they like us because we're us, not necessarily because of the brokerage. But at the same time, companies like Remax and Keller Williams, they do have a larger market share and a larger market identity than companies like EXP, Real, and even LPT. Here's where I think this could be turned into a pro. You see, most of the clients that work with us, they work with us because of our Instagram, our YouTube, our social medias, and they love who we are, not who necessarily the brokerage is. So when you can take those things into account and combine that with all the trainings that Real has to ultimately make sure your personal brand becomes absolutely amazing, then all these things start playing for you on a level. One of the biggest things for us is, yeah, those multi-million-dollar clients, they do like a little bit of name recognition with the brokerage. But if you can show them an amazing marketing tactic that you can learn from the president of Real himself, it's going to blow everyone out of the water. And yeah, I get it, we're not that well known, but we are also the fastest growing publicly traded real estate company in the entire world. If we're not known now, we will be soon. Fourth thing that we got to talk about is the fact that there's kind of an isolation terminal. You see, we're talking to a bunch of agents that were at Real, and yeah, we are a collaborative group. But at the same time, we don't necessarily have an office space. There are some teams that do rent out their own office spaces, and at the end of the day, it actually makes more sense to come here because you're gonna make more money at the long term than stay where you're at. But at the same time, when you're working from your house and you have all the noise that's there. So what's been big for our people, WeWork stations, renting out office spaces with other individuals, or just growing a team that's big enough that it can pay for it. The revenue share aspect of it can actually cover a lot of the office fees, but at the same time, I do understand that if you're a solo agent and you want to have that collaboration, maybe those in-person meetings, then Real doesn't really provide that compared to other brokerages. Let's say you're in Wisconsin or maybe in California. As an agent that's in the East Coast, it's going to be a big separating factor for you, right? That's why co-sponsorship is so so unique because not only do you get access to us, but you also get access to a team in your specific market. That's pretty cool. That's not something that most other companies actually offer. And last but not least, one of the biggest things that we talk about is attraction. And with having over 27,000 agents, there's always going to be a few bad apples in the bunch. Attraction is important, but at the same time, we don't want it to feel like you're being recruity or you're being forced to recruit. But this is the same thing that a lot of people are talking about here and there. You see, because of the revenue share aspect of it, there's always going to be someone that wants an added punch. There's always going to be someone that wants an added income. And that can actually rub a lot of people the wrong way. It doesn't feel like it's an older model with older companies that already have the revenue share aspect of it. We want to make sure that we're fresh, we're new, and ultimately it's our attraction and our ethos that brings people here, not just the fact that we recruit. Every company needs to recruit, but the verbiage, the tonality, and the way that you actually attract people is really, really important. Now, if you're not into attraction at all, you don't care about the KW profit share, the EXP, and the revenue share aspect with Real, then yeah, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. Maybe older companies like Coldwell Banker, Remax, they might be the better fit. But if you can see how revenue share can change your life like it changed mine, and you're not into that, but you still understand why people do it, and you care more about the collaboration than anything else, then yeah, Real is definitely the better option. Because listen, at Real, we want to collaborate with you. We want to help you grow. We want to help you make more money and change the entire destination of your family's livelihood. That's our goal. That's what we love. And listen, if you think we would be a good fit for Real, all of our information is down below. Let's chat more about this. If these things scare you and these aren't things that you're a big fan of, yeah, Real really isn't the best option. And I hope the last 10, 15 minutes, however long this video was, actually helped you in your decision not to come to Real Broker. Because the last thing that I would want is for you to come and for it to suck. Because that means that I didn't do my job in this video and Real didn't do its job. But if you learn everything and you're like, you know what, I still want to come to Real, then I'm glad. All of our information is linked down below. Let's chat a little bit further to see if Real would be a good fit for you. Watch this video on how to use ManyChat. See you soon. Peace.